I was reading some new research on healthy fats recently, and I wanted to talk a little bit about the new research today because, I do read research for fun, So,
That's your leisure activity, huh?
You're so boring.
yeah. Some of the research articles are just so boring, but normally they have like a synopsis. You can read a few paragraphs and get the gist of it. So.
But I would imagine doctors. Folks in your field and everything. You guys got to keep up with everything.
It's changing so fast, especially in the field of wellness and functional medicine, like what I do. It's like we're discovering new things. It's such a growing field, and we're discovering new things every week. And so you have to stay current, and you can get behind very, very quickly. So I was reading some new research recently on omega-3 fats, and I wanted to, and I know I've talked about that quite a bit on the show, but this new research shows some really amazing benefits about consuming healthy fats. And it always blows me away whenever I see just how beneficial that is for your body. In fact, if you were to ask me, what is the one thing that if society did as a whole, it would truly change the health of America and save our healthcare system, I would say if every American would just take 3,000 milligrams of fish oil every day, we would literally, you wouldn't recognize this country in 6 months.
I do because of you.
Yeah, it would literally transform the health of our society. It would be.
What is that doing to people?
Well, there are several things.
Why you say if there's one thing that we could all do immediately overnight, and you say this would significantly blah 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 blah. What's it going to do?
Well, there are several things that omega-3s have been proven to do in the body, and what the new research was talking about is just the health benefits of each of your different tissues and the things that it prevents. And so the first thing that I wanted to talk about is when they say, what do I even mean by healthy fats? Like, what is it? What am I talking about? What do I mean when I say omega-3s? What that means is the makeup of the fats that you are consuming. And so are you eating healthy fats or are you eating unhealthy fats? And research conducted over the last 20 years shows that the ratio of healthy fats versus unhealthy fats you consume is influencing everything from your brain health and dementia to your heart beating and everything to your child's IQ and behavior. All of that can be changed by eating healthy fats versus unhealthy inflammatory fats. So it does a lot. And
so fish oil is healthy fat?
It's healthy fats. And that's
what that is in those little pills, those capsules?
Exactly. It's omega-3 healthy fats. Now,
and you suggested getting I know I'm interrupting and I apologize.
No, that's okay.
But you said get the Nordic
Naturals. Uh-huh.
And I went and got them.
Good.
I keep them on hand.
Yeah, that's the ones that I recommend.
And you told me to take mine at night, and I listened to you.
Oh, good.
I take them at night right before I hit my pillow. My head hits the pillow.
Very
now, why
good.
does it make a difference when you take things?
Well, it's not. It's maybe 10 or 15% difference. It's not a
Really?
huge difference. Okay. It just they absorb a little bit better at night. So,
at night?
Yeah, it's always better to take them like right before bed. And if you can take them anytime, take them. That's number one.
Yeah.
But if you want to be very specific, take them at night. But when we talk about the Mediterranean diet, that is almost the perfect diet for health and longevity. Omega-3 fats are anti-inflammatory, and omega-6 unhealthy fats are pro-inflammatory, meaning they create inflammatory response in your body. They're carcinogenic, meaning they help cancer develop. They're heart disease causing. And it's bad for almost every aspect of good health. Now,
so wait, Bernice, hold on. So you're talking about like a steak on a grill,
right?
When it gets all burnt and that little fat's on, a lot of people like that. It's where the flavor is.
Right.
That's the bad stuff.
It is.
Okay.
Correct. Yeah, that would be an example of an unhealthy fat. Yeah, because it's a saturated fat, and then also when it burns, it turns even more unhealthy. So that would be one example. But when you look at the typical American diet, it's very rich in omega-6 bad fats. It's very pro-inflammatory, cancer-causing. In fact, if the American diet sometimes can contain 20 to 30 times more omega-6 damaging fats than it can omega-3 fats. And so our unhealthy to healthy fat ratio can actually be 30 to 1. And we really would like it 1 to 1. And so that's how many bad fats the typical American diet actually consumes. And it's almost the perfect way to create disease. If you were to ask me, what is the perfect system to create disease in someone's body, it would look it would look almost like the typical, high unhealthy fat American diet. So we have to do better. The Mediterranean diet is very rich in healthy omega-3s like olive oil and fish and legumes and lots of fresh fruits and leafy green vegetables and nuts. And this diet is more than just the heart diet. New studies show that this diet will make you less vulnerable to autoimmune diseases. We're talking lupus and rheumatoid arthritis and other autoimmune diseases, inflammatory diseases like cancer, even less things like depression and anxiety. And new studies are showing that it actually will help with dementia and Alzheimer's disease because it helps your brain health. Almost every system will function better if you will just increase your healthy fats. And here's the thing about eating healthy fats. They taste great. They're very satisfying. They keep you full. They'll help you lose weight. So, I'm not telling you to suffer and eat healthy fats. These things are fantastic.
Like pistachio, is that healthy fat?
Yeah, that's a great example.
I love those.
Almonds, walnuts,
Avocados.
Yeah, another great example.
Wasabi almonds. I got those last night at Walmart. Almonds, wasabi with wasabi. They're so good. I can't. But here's where you're going to tell me, CJ. I eat the whole can.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I shouldn't do that, right?
Yeah, I mean it's and even that's not that big a deal, really. As long as
don't tell me that.
As long as you don't do it every day.
Tell him that.
If you eat a
I
can
treat
once
myself.
a week,
I treat myself. I
that's
love
not that big a deal.
almonds, wasabi almonds. I love them.
Yeah.
No, wait, you were just talking a minute ago about eating all the strawberries, chocolate covered strawberries too.
Well, you know those Sherry's
be
berries.
careful what you're doing over here,
Right.
Dr.
Somebody
Kevin.
sent me a double row of the Sherry's berries
Yeah.
like a while back.
Yeah.
And I went home, and that night I ate the whole top row, and the next morning I woke up and ate the whole bottom row.
Yeah.
That would be bad, right?
Yeah, but if it was dipped in dark chocolate, it wouldn't be bad for you hardly at all.
No, it wasn't all dark chocolate. No, not all dark chocolate. So a strawberry is good for you.
Yeah, sure it is. Yeah,
But
fruits
it's
and
full of
vegetables are-
sweet and sugar, but it's natural, right?
It is. Yeah, I mean it is. But as long as you stick to fresh fruits and vegetables, and even do more vegetables and a little less fruit, you're fine with that. We want to compromise.
So it's the refined sugars like in Twinkies and Ding Dongs.
all that.
Okay.
Correct. Now, one of the reasons that healthy fats are so good for you is because your cell walls are made from omega-3 fats. So people always say, well, why is it so good for me? Because healthy fats are what make up your cell walls. Now, your cell walls do more than just kind of sit there. Your cell walls they have little channels in them that let healthy stuff in your cells, and they put waste products out of your cells, and there's this exchange through your cell walls that need to happen for cells to be healthy. And when your cell walls have good omega-3s, they're soft and pliable, and they function well. And when you eat unhealthy fats, your cell walls get brittle and hard and unhealthy, and that makes your entire body unhealthier. And so if your cell walls aren't healthy, then your cells will be really unhealthy and not function well at all. So
I have a question.
That's what omega-6s do.
Because you know about all this stuff. If I just was a person that just ate just nasty, just nasty, I ate all the crap that you don't want us to eat.
Right.
All right. And all of a sudden tomorrow, I wake up and I say, you know what? I'm going to change this.
Mm-hmm.
And I started eating all the healthy things that you say to eat. How long do you think it would take to feel a difference?
Your body begins to transform literally with the first meal. Your body will instantly start to change and start to replicate and do healthier things and start to function better.
Are you saying, are you indicating to me that it would be almost immediate?
Well, I don't know the feeling part of it, but your body will immediately start to transform its functions. With the first healthy meal that you eat, your body can instantaneously start to function better. Now, how long is it going to take you to feel it? Well, that just depends. But your body will instantly start to work better when you start to do right by it and start to treat it better. Now, when we get back from break, I'm going to discuss some foods that you can add to your diet to get more omega-3s. And you're going to see this list is like, well, that's all stuff I like anyway. It's just we have to make the decision to do that. So when we get back from break, we're going to discuss how to add more omega-3 healthy fats to your diet.
Doc's here and talking about good fats.
Yeah, and the notion that some fats are good for you comes as a surprise to most people. Sometimes I'll have a patient that I'm working on to help them lose weight, or they'll be one of my weight loss clients as their health coach, and I'll say, listen, you're not eating enough fat. You need to eat more fats. And they look at me like I've lost my mind. You know, if you want to lose weight, you need to eat more fat, and they think I'm crazy or something. But it's very, very true. Eating more healthy fats will help everything from your body to function better, to your energy to go up, to help you lose weight. Now, the first question that I get a lot of times when we start talking about healthy fats is, what oil should I use? You know, what oils are good and what oils are bad? Now, some oils are very bad for you. You know, the typical vegetable oil is really unhealthy. The main 3 oils that I recommend that people use, number 1 is olive oil. Number 2 is coconut oil, and number 3 is canola oil. So those are your 3 healthier ones. Now, which one do I use when? If I'm going to put it on a salad and I'm not going to heat it, I use olive oil. If I'm going to cook with it, I use canola oil or coconut oil. The reason is because coconut and canola oil have a higher, they stand up under heat better. They don't break down whenever you heat them. And so if you're going to do some real light temperature cooking, you can use the olive oil. But if you're going to really get in and cook something with pretty high heat, you want to use more coconut or canola oil. So if I were gonna,
olive oil burns, so it gets
it smokes.
Yeah.
Right. Once it's smoking, that it's turning to real unhealthy fats.
Okay.
So what happens? It transforms from a healthy fat to an unhealthy fat. So you don't want to cook with that. You want to cook with either canola or coconut's really good to cook with. Now, if I don't want my food to taste a little like the coconut oil, I use canola. So either one of those are fine. The next question that I get is, what meats should I use? Now, this gets a little bit complicated, but, you know, I know your cardiologist may have told you not to eat too much red meat, or people hear that, you know, maybe they had a heart attack and they say, well, I can't eat red meat anymore, but that's what my cardiologist told me. That does not apply to grass-fed beef. You can choose grass-fed beef, and it's actually loaded with healthy fats and loaded with omega-3s. And like I mentioned this several times on the show, but feedlot beef is fed corn and creates omega-6 bad fats. So if you stick to grass-fed beef, you can eat it as much as you want, and it's not going to be unhealthy for you. It's loaded with healthy fats. Now, a lot of times I hear, you know, grass-fed beef is so expensive.
And it's tough. We talked about that.
And it's tough. So we're working on creating a buyers club for people in Acadiana that are interested in joining, to give us buying power for healthy, organic, grass-fed beef. Now, we're doing some research on this right now on tenderness scale. You can actually, there's actually a grading scale for beef on a tenderness scale. And some of that we're finding out is genetic. So it's the breed of the cattle that you get grass-fed can actually give you a tender steak, even though it's not fed corn and it's quote-unquote fattened up. So with this buyers club we're working on, we're going to have a tenderness rating, and we're going to get a really good deal. We're kind of trying to put all this together. So we're in discussion with some ranchers in Oklahoma and Texas to try to give us buying power, and we can dictate the health parameters we want the beef to have, and the tenderness scale and certification in order to do that. So stay tuned on that. We're gonna be working on that and trying to roll that out in the next few months or so. The next is fish. I get unfortunately, we've poisoned our oceans so much that most fish now is really unhealthy. You know, most fish is loaded with toxins and PCBs and mercury and all kinds of unhealthy stuff. And if you stick with farm-raised fish, unfortunately, they're fed corn and unhealthy food. So whenever it comes to fish, you want to stick with wild.
Well, aren't you just a
bag
of party favors?
It's just the case with our fish is just not healthy anymore like it used to be.
But I hear you say eat fish.
Yeah, so we want to stick with fish from as far north as possible, from Alaska, Canada. You know, the farther north it is, the colder the water, the healthier the fish. So you want to stick with wild-caught fish from as far north as possible. Absolutely, at all cost, avoid fish from Thailand, Vietnam, and China and these places. You know that tilapia that you buy that you've been making your healthy fish tacos out of? Yeah,
in the bag,
they're literally raised in toxic waste dumps in Vietnam and China. So, you know, you buy your tilapia, you go home, you make your fish tacos, and you think you're being healthy. You really, really want to avoid that. It is super, super toxic. So Alaskan wild-caught fish is expensive. So here's what we do. Especially if you buy the steak, You know, I mean, it's very expensive to buy a wild caught Alaskan salmon steak. So one tip for everybody on that is if you go to the store and you can look for wild caught Alaskan salmon in a can. It's like a tuna fish can, but it's wild caught Alaskan salmon, and you buy that in the can, and you can make like patties out of it. You know, put some breadcrumbs and an egg or whatever in there, and you can make a patty out of it, and you can really lightly pan sear it, or you can bake it, and it's super healthy, and you're getting your Alaskan fish in, and you don't have to spend a fortune for it. So that's one really good way that you can get your salmon in.
Can I tell you what I do?
What do you do?
When I find it, like on sale, I get it.
Yeah, I do too.
And I do like a low carb olive oil based mayonnaise. Okay, put a little dollop of that in there, and salt and pepper, lots of pepper.
Yeah,
that little
thing. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then shredded dill relish pickles.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
No, you don't flip your pepper shaker around like you're on TV or anything.
No.
Right? Yeah.
No,
I'd like
dude.
to see that.
Yeah.
Okay, and then
That's just what I had pictured. I don't know.
No, and I just sit and watch TV and eat that in a bowl.
Yeah.
Yeah, no
It's
crackers
super
or anything.
Yeah, it's really
Just
good for
right
you.
like that. It's really good too.
Now you want to avoid tuna because it has a lot of mercury in it. If you do buy tuna, you want to do it occasionally, and you want to do the white albacore tuna. That's the one with the lowest mercury content. White albacore. I don't know why. Just through the research, that's the way. I don't know if it's the tuna or what it is. Probably what it is those are smaller tuna, so they don't have as long to concentrate the mercury like the real big tuna you see them like catch on TV.
Yeah.
And so in the ocean, what happens? The apex predators have the most toxicity because you have the little shrimp that has a little tiny bit of toxin, and then the small fish comes along and eats the shrimp, so those toxins accumulate in that fish. Then the bigger fish comes along and eats that one, then the bigger fish, then the bigger one, then the bigger one. So the apex predators, the sharks, the tuna, the mackerel, the swordfish.
It's a wonder they don't glow.
Yes, they have the highest concentration of toxins because those toxins have concentrated all the way up the food chain. So the apex predators are the ones who it ends up in.
But humans have really just screwed stuff up.
You know, when it comes to the ocean, it really is true. And you know, our you know, there's we've it released a lot of chemicals and toxins into our environment, so that's something that we have to work our way around. Now, most other fish is pretty toxic, so if you stick to fish from up north, Canada, USA, Norway, etc., wild caught is best, and you'll do just fine with that. Now, fruits and vegetables loaded with healthy fats, you have walnuts, almonds, other tree nuts, almost all nuts except for peanuts. Peanuts aren't actually even nuts, they're a legume. And so tree nuts are your almonds, macadamia nuts, walnuts, those type of things, pistachios, you said. Avocados are loaded with healthy fats, and lots of fresh fruits and leafy green vegetables will go a long way towards a healthy future. Now, so you notice I didn't say choking down some fast food on the way to work and then eating a snack out of the vending machine and then a plate lunch and then pizza for dinner while doing homework with the kids and then ice cream before bed. That's not what I'm talking about.
Okay, I want to ask you about yogurt because I know a lot of women who will grab a little cup of yogurt and that's to satisfy their sweet tooth.
I know they do that too.
Talk about yogurt a little bit.
Okay, most yogurts.
Don't you poo-poo the whole yogurt thing. I just bought yogurt yesterday.
Most yogurts are pretty high in sugars. You know, they have the little fake fruit in them. And so the best, if you want to do healthy yogurt, what you can do.
Did you just say they have the little fruit?
The little fake fruit in them?
Fake fruit.
Yeah. Which is basically like syrup.
I wish
or it's
people
like
could have
jelly.
seen you do that. They have the little fake.
You have to watch the video.
Watch the video.
Okay,
yeah. And so if you want to do that, get the unsweetened Greek yogurt and put your own berries or blueberries that you buy in it. You know, get
Not
you some,
sweet and low.
Not sweet. Yeah, you could. Yeah, you know, if you want to put some stevia in it,
Okay.
you could put some stevia or monk fruit in it. And
I
monk
bought
fruit
that
extract.
triple that it starts with an O. I don't know what but it's triple. 0 sugar, 0 something, and 0 something.
Okay, it's probably pretty good. Yeah. You
Okay.
could put you some blueberries or something in it. It'd be
No,
really good.
it's vanilla flavored. I don't need all that.
There you go. So let's all try to eat healthier fats in our diet. It would really, if we could all just do, you know, some fish oil supplements, it would help transform our country in such a big way. So
Hey, wait. I got another question.
Yeah.
What do you know about cottage cheese?
What do you want to know about it?
Well, is it healthy?
I mean,
Can it be?
Yeah, it can be. There's lots of other
eat
alternatives out
it?
there. I don't.
Okay.
Yeah, just for taste reasons. It never has been my thing.
Oh, okay. So it's
Yeah.
taste. It's not because it's.
Yeah, I mean, it's dairy. So most people have 60% of the people
Lactose?
have like an allergy to dairy or kind of
Hey, can I tell you
intolerance to
something?
dairy. What's that?
I was in the hospital getting my appendix out,
Okay.
and Dr. Jason Bro was doing it, and I think he had left, and one of his assistants a male assistant was left in the room,
Mm-hmm.
and we were talking about being lactose intolerant,
Mhm.
and I said, "Oh, I am so lactose intolerant." I said, "I'm the weirdo," and he said, "No," he said, "A body that responds that way is actually doing its job.
Mm-hmm.
You're not supposed to have the milk of some other animal."
Right.
That's
Yeah,
what he told me.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, that's,
Okay.
that's pretty true. Yeah. So we're the only mammal that drinks some other species of milk. It's kind of weird, but yeah.
Yeah.
And listen, you're talking. I used to drink that a lot. So, it's not the 60% of the people can have problems with it. So it's something that if you're having digestive issues, avoid it for a couple weeks and see how you do with it. But I always recommend adults take around 3,000 milligrams of omega-3 fish oils, and for pregnant moms and nursing mothers, it's more. So especially for those ladies out there that are pregnant, or if you know someone that's pregnant, they should be mega dosing with omega-3 fish oils. Listen, the baby's nervous system development, brain development, cellular function, they've even tested IQs go up. You want to make sure, and prenatal vitamins, unfortunately, don't have enough healthy fats in them. You might get 600 milligrams in most prenatal vitamins. You should be taking 4,000 to 5,000 milligrams if you're pregnant. And then when you start nursing, which every mother should try to nurse at all costs, it's so important, then you want to mega dose 4,000 or 5,000 milligrams because that goes through in the milk, and then that's super healthy for the baby. And so you want to mega dose with omega-3 fish oils. Now, we talked about this earlier, but
I'm listening to you and my mother. My mother drank 452 cups of coffee a day, smoked about 18 packs of cigarettes, never took a vitamin, and ate rice and gravy, and I'm sure God knows what else. It's a wonder I'm even alive.
I know, it's funny some of the things we did back in the day, and we look at it now, we're like, man, how did I make it through that?
I know, right?
Now, can you take too much omega-3?
I mean, it's possible, but it's pretty hard to.
Okay.
I mean, if you stick to 2 to 3, 4, 5,000 milligrams, you're gonna be fine.
Okay.
Deb,
Now-
you need to take that at night, like I do.
I've been taking krill oil,
Krill oil's good too.
which has the
It's
omega-3s in it as well.
It's not nearly as effective if you do the research.
Now, if you wanted to really be specific, you would kind of switch it up some so that you get all different sort of types of fish oil. You would do the fish oil, then the krill oil, then you would have the avocados, and a blend of
Yeah,
healthy
makes
fats is really
sense.
good.
Yeah.
But the brand that I always recommend is called Nordic Naturals. They're third-party tested for purity. Now, listen, I don't sell them. I don't own stock in them. I don't get anything for saying this, but it's just the brand around here that I recommend. It's called Nordic Naturals.
You can get them at Drug Emporium.
Yeah, you can get vitamin stores around here. The reason I like them is because what happens, they randomly take a sample off the shelf and they'll send that to a third-party lab, and they will verify that it's the milligrams it's supposed to be. There's nothing in there that's not supposed to be in there. There's no mercury. There's no toxins in
And
them.
you don't taste it, and there's no aftertaste.
Exactly. That's why I like those as well. But healthy fats are where it's at, guys. Everybody listening should be taking at least 3,000 a day. And if I could get America to just eat more healthy fats, it would literally transform our healthcare system.
And you're not talking about eating something that doesn't taste good.
No.
Pistachios and walnuts. And
Yeah, avocados are fantastic.
Avocados, pretty
Yeah.
good tasting stuff.
Very much so. Make a salad with walnuts and avocados in it. So good for you.
And the difference between wild-caught cold water fish compared to what you can buy in the grocery store that came from who knows where and has what kind of coloring in it and who knows what else, when you can really taste the difference.
You can.
So if you think you don't like fish,
right,
try good fish.
Try good fish.
Well,
It's
Debbie
true.
Ray and I went to, we took a bunch of people on a cruise to Alaska, and we got off the got off the plane in Anchorage, and Debbie Ray says, "You going to Humpy's?" And I said, "Pardon me?" And she said, "Go to Humpy's and get the halibut."
Yeah. Fantastic.
Real
It was
treat, yeah.
so good. You could taste the difference. You know?
Yeah. No, what I do for my salmon steaks is I'll just take a foil and put like some lemon pepper and rub some mustard on there, wrap it up, and bake it in the oven. It's so good. Maybe some lemon slices on there. And it's I'm not really
quick and easy too,
Yeah,
huh?
it's real quick and easy. It's so good.
Yeah.
So try to get your healthy fats in. It's very important. Listen, before I leave, I wanted to thank everybody for coming to the diabetes workshop last week.
Yeah.
It was a huge success. I mean, it was truly one of those life-changing, transformational workshops. It was so amazing. So we're still in sort of diabetes mode. So if anybody missed it and you have diabetes and you want some more information on some natural solutions for that, give me a call at the office and I'll sit down and I can send you a packet on what we went over at the workshop. Really, really interesting new stuff on it. So it was a very special night, so I want to thank everybody for coming.
Awesome.
So you can join us on Facebook at the Bryant Wellness Institutes, and I will see you guys next week.
Thank you, Doc.
All right, thanks, guys.
Wellness Wednesday on KTDY.